Hello everybody, it's Jody. This is the January 26, 2024 Be Mine Sweet Collection. As I told you in my announcements that for the, I always email you guys a PDF with measurements. I don't do like detailed measurements, but from now on, I'm going to try to include a video. I'm already putting the projects together ahead of time for your samples in class. So I thought I would start this week because next month I'm offering a to-go option for maybe possibly people that maybe can't come because they work or, whatever their reason. I wanted to offer that. So I wanted to start the video out just kind of showing you what the suite is. Now, in your catalog, it's on page 9, and all the coordinating colors, in case you're wondering, is always on the back of this section right here where it says Designer Series Paper, and those colors are, this is kind of how I start out designing. I just kind of get it all out and look at all the colors and figure out what looks best on each one of the bases of your cards. Most of the time I try to give you a variety of colors for your card bases. So this is the colors, and it is Basic Black, Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lime Twist, Pretty Pink, or Petal Pink, Pool Party, and Sweet Sorbet. So I'm almost out of the Pool Party, and it's on back order. I think I might have enough to do one card with you guys, so that'll be enough. And then the Sweet Sorbet is probably going to be the main color just because it is Valentine's Day, and I do believe I'm thinking black for one of them. I don't know what I got on my fingers, but anyways, so this is a complete full page of the Designer Series paper, and I'm calling this the A side because when you flip it over, it's the B side. So as you can see, you got the B's with the flowers, just flowers, B's with more flowers, B's, honey, and more B's. So that's the paper. And then as far as the stamp set, I usually try to do I go in and I put this in a book where I can see what all the different, usually dies do, but this is a punch. But I just want to make it, make everyone aware that, you can have the B going this way or you can have it going up, either way. So, this is a good punch that you can, sometimes when you have a punch, you can only do one thing one way. And you could certainly turn it to go back that way also, so just by flipping over the paper. So it's, totally up to you what you want to do. But let's get started with project 1. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is cut my Designer Series paper. For this card, I'm using the Poppy Parade. And on the 8.5-inch side, we're going to cut our card base. On the 11-inch side, we're going to cut the card base in half at 5 1/4 or 5 1/2. Then we're going to turn it and we're going to cut it at 7 1/4. And then we're going to score this piece at 3. Set that to the side. Then you're going to cut a piece at 4, or a Poppy Parade of 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And it doesn't matter which side because they're the same size. You're going to score at 1. And you're going to set that to the side. Now for the inside piece, it's the same as you normally would cut the 4 by 5 1/4. Set that to the side. Now you have to decide if you know what you're planning to do as far as what colors you want on, or your pattern for the outside. I am going to do the hearts. These cute little fluttery hearts. And I'm just going to keep it with all hearts and do this side for the opposite side. So you're going to cut, you want to make sure when you have directional that you keep in mind which way you want to cut your designer series paper. All of the pages are going to be the same height at, let's see, should be 5 1/4 is going to be your tallest. So you want to do whatever's going to be the top, you want it to go that way. So like your V's, if you want them to go, you want it all to go that way. So 5 1/4. This is how excuse me if I can talk, how tall you want your piece. Okay, and then the next measurement is going to be 5. So it was 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. I'm over here looking at my measurements, but I have it written down weird. I have it all over the place. So 2 3/4 by 5 1/4, and then you're going to do 3 inches you're going to do 4 inches. Let me make sure that's right. Let me measure it real quick. Three inches by 4. Okay, so you're going to do the 3 inches. 3 inches. And then you're going to turn it so your design is going that way, or so the top of your design is going that way, and cut it at 4 inches. Okay. And then we already have our white piece, so that's all we need. So now let me get my bone folder. And bumpy side up, you're going to turn this in. Same thing with here. Bumpy side up, you turn it in. So now you're going to take this piece and you're going to find the center, or however you want it to go, and glue that down. I'll use glue. I know a lot of you use glue in the class, so it really doesn't matter. You can use the tape runner, whatever you want. It's funny, I used to always use just tape. I never used glue, ever. And now I almost always only use glue. I don't know. I just got fed up with the tape runner slowing me down, I feel. So you're just lining this up on the edge so it's even. Give it a good press. Okay, then you're going to put your inside in, whoops, and just cover up this. I want you guys to give me feedback on whether you like that I'm doing the video. I know you already have done these cards in class, but sometimes you walk away and then you're like, oh, I like that fold. And then if you make a folder on your computer or whatever you want to do, then you could go back and reference this card. I got a little smudge on there. Okay, so it's going to close like that. So you want your longer piece. To go here. Like that. And then we're just going to, now you could, if you wanted it to be like this, you can. I think this looks very cute. But I want the bees to show, so I'm going to pop up these bees. Or pop up, or do the bee side. Okay, so this is just the basic card right here, just the basic card base, and you know, however you want. Now, if you wanted, you could have turned that paper and went this way, so it can be two different ways if you want. I might even, I don't know, I might confuse you if I did that for class, but that's the basic way that you do that. Now, I'm getting in my head that I want to put some ribbon along this edge. I seen online somebody did that and I thought it was cute, but I can't decide if I want to do it here or here. I think I'm going to, do it on here. So let me grab my ribbon. And then I got to decide what I'm putting on here. Okay, so I decided to go with these perennial postage dies. They are really, I don't know, I just really like them. I think they're super cute. Now you can decide, basically what I do is I make out a little template I have a book and I keep my templates, and this is one of those templates. And what I use it for sometimes is just to see what is actually going to fit in my, what sentiment is going to fit. So that's basically what I'm doing now. Now I know some of you change your sentiment in class, and that's totally fine. I think that I am going to stick my cards totally with being just plain Happy Valentine's Day, and that is because it's very generic. You can give it to anybody. It doesn't have to be somebody that you love. It could be one of the people at the nursing home, and you could just wish them a happy Valentine's Day, or whoever you guys send your cards to. I know several or a couple of you make them for other people to make their day. You know, you could pass this to a person at McDonald's and you're just wishing them a happy Valentine's Day. So we could use any of these in there if we wanted. I am going to trying to decide if I want to cover up, how much I want to cover up of the bee. I think I'm going to go with this one because I'm going to still decorate it with some hearts and things. So this is how I'm making my decision. And I'm including this in the video because sometimes it's really easy to just get a kit and put it together. But sometimes if you watch another person's thinking process, it helps you to kind of make a decision on your own, because maybe you want to make these cards later and I want you, and it's not going to be a Valentine's theme. Maybe it's a birthday theme or whatever, but you still want to make this card. This will help you to decide without, you know, just having a kit there. And that's the only thing about our class, is that I can't really, you know, it's hard to teach because I don't have a way to like show you what I'm doing. I can stand up and hold it like this, but I got to keep going all the way down the line, especially as big as our class is getting. So this is my process. This is how I do it. You know, hopefully it helps you. Anyways, we're moving on. So now I'm going to go ahead and die cut this. And I'm doing that in the petal pink because I feel like that is a contrast. So let me get my die cut machine. I'm going to grab my mini. For whatever reason, I really like the mini better. Now, all of you that are in my class know that I have an electric one over here, but I really like this mini one when I'm on camera. Number one, it's not so darn heavy. And number two, the plates don't warp as bad. I don't know why. I've had these same plates since we've been doing classes together, and I think I bought them brand new when we first started doing class, and I'm still on the same one. Same plates. And the other one, I've replaced those probably 6 times. Okay. Let me set this out of the way. Okay, so now we have to decide. It's always like, what color do you stamp in? I really like red or bright colors, but I feel like the black would probably bring out the bee. So I'm going to go ahead and do the memento. If I can find what I did with mine. I just had it earlier. Here it is. And what did I do with the stamp set? Oh, here it is. Valentine's Day. Let me grab my... And I'm going to keep this in the middle, try to go right in the middle with it. I just want to do like a scratch piece of paper here, just to get it kind of, I've already used it, but I just want to make sure it's coming out pretty good. Now this is my Stampin' Scrub. I was talking to a few of you in my class about it. The thing that I like about this is now this is an old bottle. It's got a little sticker. They have a big bottle now, and I just refill this because it fits in my drawer better. I have the big one over on my on my wall over here, but this is a Stampin' cleaner, and it helps condition your stamps. So if you plan on keeping them for a long time, back before I used it, I can show you sometime how my stamps look, and they are pretty pitiful. But you just give it a couple squirts, and if you look up here, there's like little raindrops, and then on this side it is the sun. So you're supposed to scrub over here, scrub it clean, and then dry over here, and see how great it looks. Now, I will tell you this. I wouldn't stamp directly and then have a bunch of ink on there, because, you know, make sure you're stamping off on a piece of paper, getting the majority of the ink off, because that ink builds up. Now, these do slide out. You can just pop these little things out, put them under the sink, wash them with some soap. Dawn soap is what I use, and then dry and let them air dry, and you can reuse them. So that's something I know I talked to you guys about before, so I just want to set these dies over here out of the way because I don't want to lose them. Okay, so that's going to go there. I'm just thinking, should I have used red? Let me see, would the red look better? The reason why I said I didn't know if I wanted to use the red, I'm going with it. We're going with it. Okay. So there's that. Now, I'm just going to put some hearts. Now, you can stamp the hearts or you can punch the hearts. I'm just going to make it easier and punch the hearts. Okay, so I am going to punch these up on dimensionals. I'm going to come back to that ribbon. I'm still deciding what I want to do. I think I'm going to just go ahead and tie a bow, maybe. I seen this card online and I didn't like the way they did their bow. It was not cute. It was very messy. Like it didn't hold in place. Okay, so we're going to center that. And then we're just going to bring in our heart and kind of, I'm going to put a dimensional on the tips, but I'm going to glue this down. And then this heart, I'm just going to put right there. So put my dimensionals up in the little corner. I probably could have used minis for this, but I still haven't ordered a bunch. I go through, I really don't use that many minis. I mean, basically the minis are like, you get a pack of those and they'll last a long, long time. So just kind of slide that into place until you kind of hit that corner right there and lay it down. And then this one, I'm just going to pop it right in that corner. Like that. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't use the red. So now the bow. So a lot of times what I do is I will put adhesive on the back of here. I will take my ribbon and I will bring it across the front and right here and cut it. But then you're going to see the ugliness. My I have an option. I could put another panel in here, but of designer series paper if I wanted, and that would be cute. But then I feel like I would need to do it here. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring this all the way around from the back. Bring it around. Let me figure out how much it needs. I need to make my bow. That's probably enough. Let me find my ribbon scissors. So I'm gonna say, let me measure. I'm always bumping my camera and don't realize it. So this is about 25 inches. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get my little mat here. And I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal and right around the middle here, I'm going to just run a little bit of adhesive. Now this, it won't stick to, so when it comes up, it's going to be hanging off the side there. Just roll it back onto itself. Now, if we're going to do this right here, we want our bow to come out on the side, so you need to make sure your ribbon is kind of over here a little bit. And I'm sticking that down, so it's glued in place. It's not going to be moving around and looking bad. Your other option would be glue dots if you wanted to do that also. And then I'm going to continue to put more adhesive, just a little bit, because I don't want to have the adhesive to where my fingers are stuck in it when I'm tying my bow. Really just enough to get it to stick to that cardstock and not slide around. Okay, so now you can tie your bow. Now here's another tip that I use a lot because we only have two hands. I will use a pair of my tweezers and I will shove it underneath there to hold that in place while I'm tying my bow. And if it loosens up, you can pull it and get it tight. And then another thing that I do, it doesn't always work, but I like to pull my two tails together, try to match them all the way down, and then I just do one cut at an angle, and then there, that's how my basically that's how I do that. Now, because this is kind of heavy, you could put a glue dot underneath there. I usually do that as well. Just to secure that down. You just, I mean, it's glued down already, but that knot is a little heavy, so just kind of give it like that. And so on this side, it's still straight and nice. On this side, it's straight and nice. And there is our card. So let me get all this out of the way so we can put our gems on it. I have so many and I can never find them. I haven't used those yet, so they got to be buried. There they are. Okay, so these are the adhesive back hearts and flowers. In case you're wondering, this is how I store my all of my dimensionals and all of my gems. I put, these are little packets that I get from Amazon. They're badge holders for like jobs or whatever, I guess. Actually, so just in case anybody wants to do this, because it's really convenient. They're actually, I said badge holders. They're passport holders. They're 4x6 vinyl envelopes by Avery, 74806, and I ordered these on Amazon. I don't even think they cost that much. I know they don't, because I wouldn't have bought them if they did. But that's just, you know, I keep my dimensionals all together in a little packet. I keep my minis in one and my big ones, and then I have a label machine and label it with the name of them. Now, you guys don't have to know the name of them, but I do that so I can tell you guys what they are. So that's that. I have to stay organized, or I don't know, it's hard to stay organized. Okay, so I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to go with, I think I'll go with the yellow hearts. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with, I don't know, because that's red hearts. These are so different than I guess I'll go with the red hearts. So I'm just going to do here. These are cute, but they don't give you very many. So when I do 2 cards, we'll have to change the color, I guess, when we do this. You know, when you do your second card, unless you do, you know what? I'll do one big one down here. Okay, so that's card 1. Super cute. I love it. Okay, so we have our card base is 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score that at 3 1/4. And 4 1/4. Now we're going to get our designer series paper, and I picked the, let me grab it out of here. let's see. I think I'm going to do... Okay, so I'm going to do... First I want to cut this side. Okay, so you need to cut 2 pieces of DSP, one at 3 1/4 by 5 1/4 and one at 3 by 5 1/4. But I want to come down. So remember, directional. You want it to be 5 1/4 high. So 5 1/4, and then you're going to cut. Your first piece is going to be 3/4. So both of your pieces are 5 1/4 tall. Remember that. But for just remember that, and then you got one that's going to be 3/4, and then you got one that's going to be 3 inches. Now, for your inside white piece, it's going to be 5 1/4, which this should already be 5 1/4 by 3 also. Okay. So now we're going to bumpy side up. We're going to fold in half. Here it is. And then this piece would actually be able to go back this way if you want to go ahead and get that ready. So we're going to go ahead and put down our designer series paper. I'm going to put the honey on this one, going this way, because we're going to do the ribbon. I'm going to just use my stamp and seal real quick. And then this side is the red. Now you can reverse that if you want, or you can use any of the prints you want. It's up to you. I just really liked the red and the black for Valentine's. Okay, and then we're going to get our ribbon just like before and go down that edge. So last time it was about 25 inches, so that's what I'm going to cut off to start with. Same thing I did last time. I'm going to find the center and just throw some adhesive on there. Now I'm going to, now you don't have to do this. You could actually I can show you a different way, because you don't really need all that, so you don't have to cut as much if you don't want. I'll show you an easier way. You can put it down like this. And then just bring it around. You might, that would probably be better, because you're not going to see any of this ribbon behind here, because it's going to be glued shut. So now we have enough to tie a bow with that later. same thing with here. Bring that over. Cut it. And now you can tie your bow. So now what we're going to do is we're going to glue this shut. Okay. And then we'll just tie our bow. And I just fold it over. And then you can place it wherever you want. I'm going to wait and figure out how I'm going to design the front of the card. Okay. Okay, so let's start working on our bees. Now, your bees, you can do one of two things. You can stamp it and cut it out. I don't know what I do with my little template. In between every single time that I create, I put everything away and get it back out as I do it again. And it never fails. I can never find anything still. I don't know what I do with it. All right, let me figure it out. Okay, so this is what I decided to do. I cut a black and a white out of the postage. Out of these dies, it would be the third and fourth smallest of the rectangle. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tape this together. I'm not going to put this down because I'm not 100% sure if I like this or not. I might just put the bee on the I might not put this. I might just not. I might decide not to. But one thing we're going to do, we're going to heat emboss here. And we're going to heat emboss our bee stripes. So I need a block. Or B, and then I am going to have this one say Be Mine. Now, you should have definitely done this before you put it on, before I put it on this card. For sure, should have done that, but I didn't, so I'm going to get my crayon because I hope this works. If not, I'll just have to cut more paper, but all right, so we're going to start with the Be Mine. Okay, and then I'm going to throw my powder on there. And hopefully I don't get powder everywhere. pretty good. Okay, good. All right, now we're going to get out our B stripes. I like to hold it on there, and then I messed up and didn't put the thing underneath here, which most of the time with the photopolymer I don't have too much problem unless it's like a full, like a big image. Like, see, it's stamped pretty good, but you know. All right, so let's throw this in there. One more time. Okay, now let me make sure I put my lid on, and then I'm going to get my heat emboss or my heat tool, and I want to do the Be Mine first before I have that all messed up. I'm just letting my heat tool get hot before I put it on there. Let them cool off a little bit. Okay, so well, I'm not loving the way that turned out. I don't know why it's looking weird. I'm going to try that again because I don't know. It doesn't look embossed. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring out my Misty. I need to put that away. Okay. Let's try that again. I want it to have a really thick, like, good coverage and be shiny. So I'm going to hit it with the ink a few times. last time. See if it works better. Much better. Okay, so I know for class that I am going to take this out and have it ready for you guys. You'll just be able to pop your bee right into place when it comes time. So I have 2 of these, and this one is marked Versamark, and I try to always clean whenever I always bring this to class whenever I have heat embossing, because whatever that Versamark ink does not ever want to come off if you just wipe it off. I don't know. I use a separate cleaner for Versamark always. That's my preference. It's not written in any book that you have to do that, but it's what I do. Okay, now we can punch out our bee. Okay, I'm going to cut it down a little bit. So there's our bee. And then for the wings, I'm just going to use this little scrap of white. I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use the petal pink. And I am going to cut out two hearts. And I am going to grab this little wing and let me find a block and just do the wings and the petal pink. And you just kind of go on top of the heart there. It doesn't fit exactly, but okay. And then in the stamp set, there are several faces. I'm going to go with this one right here, the little smile with the eyes closed, if I can figure out which one it is. I think it's this one. And I'm just going to use Memento for this. And then on the back, I am going to just glue, put a little bit of glue here, a little bit of glue here, and glue on my wings. Now I'm going to put dimensionals on the back. Okay, let's see. Do I want to just have my bee, or do I want to? I think I'm just going to do the bee, because it has the little buzz lines right there. And then I'm going to take, there's little antlers in there. Actually, I'm not going to do it because I'm too afraid I'm going to mess it up. And then you can glue your, you can put glue or glue. I usually use glue dots. I like the way they stick. For your bow. And now for these, I'm going to use the yellow hearts this time. Let's see, I'm going to do... one here, here. I think these show up pretty good. The other ones didn't show up real well. I don't know what other color we could have used to make it look better, but I'm gonna put one right here. Okay, so that's our card. Pretty cute. Okay, so this is going to be our third card, and I'm just going to run you through the measurements. I'm not going to go through everything to cut everything for you, but so you're going to cut your cardstock at 8.5 by 5.5, and then you're going to score at 2 1/8 and 4 1/4. With your bumpy side, you'll close it like a regular card, and then this one is going to fold back. Then you should have your designer series paper. This one is, I cut this one a little bit bigger. Now, if you're going to make multiple cards, then you probably want to cut this at 4 by 5 1/4, but I went ahead and made it just fill up a little bit more space on the card, because we're actually going to put, so you can write on the back, because I didn't know how to do this without interrupting the design from the front. So I just made this the 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So we're going to glue that in place. Make sure you get your edges burnished really nice. Then you're going to cut another piece of designer series paper, and this one is cut at, let's see, where's my measurements up here? It's going to be cut at 2 by 5 3/8. So we're going to glue that one down. Okay, then you're going to need a piece of Pool Party, and this is, what is this one? This one is 2.5 by 2.5, and then you're going to layer your designer series paper at 2, or no, let me find it. Did I not put it on here? Let's see. Well, I'll just measure it real quick so I don't hold up the video, because I can do the PDF in just a second. Make sure it's on there. So 2 3/8 by 2 3/8. I don't have that on there. Okay, anyways, so you're going to layer that on here, and then you're going to have this piece and this piece, which is 1 7/8 by 1 7/8 and 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. So you're just going to layer those. Again, or no, I'm thinking of my card club. I was going to say you're going to have to cut your cards, your designer series paper, but all this will be done for you. This is just in case you do want to make more cards later of this card design. You'll have the measurements in the video. Okay, now you're going to have another triangle, but it's going to be, or square. And it's going to layer on another one of those with the same measurements. But first you're going to do your stamping. Let me grab my stamp. And I'm keeping this the Happy Valentine's Day. Where's it at? Oh, it's right in front of me with the red. It's been a day. Just ignore me. Okay, so I'm using the Poppy Parade ink. If you have real red, you could use that, or any kind of bright red, because it's far enough away from the designer series paper. Now, one thing I want you to realize is that this is going to stamp at an angle. It's that you want it to be to where the square is more like a triangle, or with the point up. And then I want to make sure I put my Stampin' Pierce mat down. Okay. Get that out of the way, and we are just gluing that on. Originally, the template I had designer series paper here, and they, we stamped on here, but I wanted the sentiment to be on this, so that's what I did. Okay, so then your next piece is going to be this. Now I put the measurement as 1 3/4, and then by 3, and then you score it at let's see, I have that one. You score it at 3/4, 1 1/2, and 2 1/4. But what you want to do is you want to go through and burnish each one of these really well. And then you want to take the 2 end pieces and fold them in. And you want to make sure that they do not touch each other at all. Just make sure that they don't touch, and you'll be fine. If they do touch, just cut a sliver off until you can see that there's a gap. If you can see in mine, I made a specific gap. 3 is too big. You got to cut like right under the 3. But then you're just going to put your adhesive on these 2 top pieces. And then you're going to open your card up, and you're going to line this up to where where it's uneven, or I mean where the gap is right in the middle of it, or is right over the crack here. And that's just so when this closes, there's enough room in there. I don't know if you can see in there, so it gives this, so it's able to fold. Okay. So now you're going to adhere these at like this. And how I did mine was I went all the way to the top with this one and all the way to the bottom with this one, and you only adhere the left side. If you want, you can put dimensionals, or you can put glue. I'm going to use glue just because I want to make sure it's stuck. And don't get real close to the edge, because then you're going to glue your card. And I slide it right over there. I messed my card up a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, so now we're going to bring this one in, and you're going to figure out how to lay this in here. Now this is going to go right up to the very edge. When you open your card, you want this to be all the way to here. So what I did was I just glued this down a little bit, because you really don't need much glue. You don't want it to get up to that crack, because then when you go to open it, it's going to stick. And then I just kind of found my thing and slid it in, and then give it a press. As you can see, it's not directly in the center, but that's okay. No one will ever see that really when you're setting your card up. Or you could make this smaller if you wanted. It's just the original card that I think I'd seen, it did not have. Oh, this is still moving. I just think it didn't have this shape. Make sure that gets down, and then you can flip it over and make sure. What you don't want is any glue right here, which I just got, and you can lay this flat like this, and to make sure, but to make sure that it fits in between here, you have to kind of close it. So you kind of have to go back and forth for a minute and figure out before you glue it, and then you could use a pencil if you want. If you do get glue right here, you'll need to get one of your the erasers, and I don't know where mine's at. My whole desk is completely crazy. I actually thought I videoed this, and I was getting ready to get it all ready to send to everybody, to you guys, and I noticed that I couldn't find it, so I'm actually redoing this whole card over just for this demonstration, so bear with me. Okay, so then you want to grab out your stamp for your stripes for your bee. and get your Memento ink out. You definitely want to make sure you have your mat with this, because this is this stamp does not exactly, well, this just goes to show you how much of a day I'm having, because I just put my stamp on backwards. Okay, let me get it right. Okay. You definitely, this is one of those that has the flatter surface, and it is very difficult to get it to do a good impression stamping at one time. So you definitely want to make sure it's inked up well and you're using your mat. That's probably the best impression I've had stamping this image during the whole time I've been making these cards. Okay, actually that one is. Now, if you're stamping it and you have an issue where there's a bare spot or something like that, you can use your Stampin' Right black marker and come in and shade it in a little bit, if it bothers you. If it doesn't bother you, then don't worry about it. Like, this one is very light. I've done some that were really, I ended up re-inking my Memento for the class tomorrow and making sure. Okay, so then you're just going to line up your bumblebee and punch him out. I can't remember. Okay, and then for your wings, I used vellum. Let me see if I got a piece of vellum just sitting here in my stash. Yes, I do. Okay, for this, I'm just going to die cut a couple hearts, or punch a couple hearts. Well, 4 hearts. And then I'm going to get another, I'm going to bring in the Pool Party ink. And we're going to stamp just a little detail on here. The little wing right here, it's just something to give it a little bit of something. You can't really see it, but I really liked it. I thought it just was subtle and looked nice. So, and it goes with the card. So I'm probably going to have my head in this camera. If I am, I'm sorry. Now, the only thing about vellum is it doesn't dry fast. But we can hit it with the heat tool. Because if it doesn't dry, it smears everywhere. And this stamp doesn't exactly match, in my opinion, this stamp, or I mean the heart, but it's what it's meant for. So I think that's just how they wanted it to be. Okay, so I'm going to hit this with my cool setting. Cooler setting, anyway. Let me get a hold of this end right here. thinking about it. Let me grab I just want to put my tweezers in the thing so I can remember those tomorrow. Now, another thing, you want to grab a face, whichever face you want to use. I think I used this one and this one, so I'm going to grab a stamp or a block for that. I think this is such a cute set. I am so glad that everyone wanted to do this one because it's so cute. All right, let me get this out of the way. So now we're just going to glue on our wings. So for this one, I'm going to have this one kind of going up in the air, but I'm going to have this one just kind of going this way. So keep that in mind when you're doing your, when you're doing your wings. I actually should have stamped the face the other way, but that's okay. I can still do it this way, but I want to make sure the girls, I'll remind you in class that I'll show you this one. So see how I had the face going upward like that? That's actually what you should do. And I won't glue this on so I can make sure your sample is right for class. Well, I can stamp another one when I'm not videoing, I guess. But we're just going to, just a tiny little bit of glue. And we're just going to give him one wing. I said 4. You only need 3 because we only give him the one wing since he's going to be right here. And I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals. Okay, so I'm back and I went ahead and punched out another one of these bumblebees because this will be the sample for our class. So I want to make sure when you guys see your samples that I do it the right way. So I don't know if you have one of these. You can pick them up at like Sally's, like maybe Walmart, but whenever you have little burrs on the side, you can always like just sand it down a little bit. And then we're going to put the wings on both of the sides. I'm just going to turn him over and put just a little bit of glue on each side. We'll get rid of that one. So we're just going to put some dimensionals on the back of these guys. Okay. And let's bring the card back in, and we're going to just stick him just on there enough to where he misses that when this is kind of opening, okay? And then this one, it doesn't matter. You can put it anywhere as long as it doesn't go off like that, so you can close your card. Or actually like this. Okay. Put my glue up here. Now let me grab my little flowers and butterflies and stuff. I can put here there. I think these are so stinking cute, but they just did not give us enough of them, if you ask me. Okay, so when I did my original card, I definitely want to put, I'm going to change it up just because, well, I still don't know what I did with my eraser. Normally if I have this problem, I get my eraser, but I'm going to put one of these pink flowers, a bigger one, right here. And then one of the blue flowers down here. And then when I open my card, I noticed that I wanted to put a few on here. So I usually do either 3 or 5 is usually what I do. I'm going to arrange them just a little bit different, but I'm going to use basically the same colors. So I just want to make sure that, like there you can't see, it doesn't matter, you can't see it. But I wanted to put one up here where you could kind of see it when the card was open, where this one, you can't really see it. Okay. And then I'm going to put a couple on here. I'm going to have to try and get some more of these. They're just so cute. I think I'll put in a little cluster over there. Okay, so that is, well, oh, then we're going to put on the back of the card like this, so you can sign your card. I almost forgot that. Okay, so that is our third card. Okay, so I decided to include the gift box that I gave you guys in class, my Valentine treat box for you guys. So this is what they look like. They come flat like this. They're called the square pillow box, and you get 10 in a pack. So how I made that project was I just took a random sheet of the B paper, and then I brought in, these are the deckled circle dies. Now, I think that these are have now moved. They were in the last mini catalog at Christmas, and I think they have moved to the online exclusives if you want to buy them in the online store. These have so much use, and I think that they're going to continue to bring them back just because so many demonstrators are making a lot of things for them, but I don't know that they'll make it into the annual catalog because they won't know how popular they became, but they can stay in the online exclusives for a while as long as they're selling. I've seen people do what's called a rocker card with these. I've not done one yet, but it's on my list of cards to do. But these are the deckled circle dies, and I just used the largest one, and it fits a 6x6 piece of paper. I'm going to cut that real quick with my electric machine. Okay, so now you have your circle. And then, as you can see right here, there's little adhesive pieces. So you want to kind of avoid that. But you can use glue, you can use, I suggest, now this is the Stampin' Seal, and some of your projects, like I didn't put a lot of adhesive, you could tell it was kind of coming up a little bit, but I knew it was something you were just going to throw away anyways. But you might want to use the Stampin' Seal Plus if you have it. I don't have one right now, so, but inside these little, like, what the like half circles or whatever they are, I just put a little bit of adhesive. You don't want to go all the way out because this does not fit the whole entire circle. And then I put like a big X here in the middle. I can't see very good. I don't have my glasses on. And I just line this up. So this is going to be my top or my front. And just lined it up in the center as best you can. And then you just kind of manipulate this with the, this is what is a little time consuming if you're doing a lot of them, but you just kind of come out and give this a good pinch on the end, because that's where your point's going to be. And you can't really see once you put the paper on, but you just keep kind of following that same little half circle. Make sure you give that end a good pinch. You're going to do the same thing on this side. If you hear whistling, that's my son in there listening to the radio in the other room. Okay, so then you're going to remove these tabs. And it's kind of like you push it in like this and bring it down. And you might have to give it a little, let me kind of manipulate this one a little bit better. And you want to make sure that you bring this all the way to where this part touches here, and you kind of roll it around to where to close it. And then get in there and give it a good press down. It's got really good tape on it, so it'll stick really well, but you got to get in there and get it stuck. So then you do the other side. Okay, and then this one I closed first, this one second. Now if you wanted, you could take a circle punch, probably about a 1 inch or a 1/2 inch, and cut this off if that bothers you. It didn't bother me, but so there is your image. And then I kept it real simple and stamped Happy Valentine's Day. And then, because I was in a hurry and I was doing several of them, I brought in the, let's see, this is a 2.5 inch punch. You could use whatever you have. If you have punches, that's fine. If you have the layering circles, or the, what is it called? Stylish shapes, you could use that. I definitely know that this is retired, and this is a 2 3/8 scallop punch. You could use, you know what? This isn't even the right circle, I don't think, because there's no way that fit on there. Let me see what I did. I must have used, so if this is 2 3/8, I must have used a 2 inch. So a 2 inch circle. I'm sorry, I told you guys wrong. And I just put this down. You could do it with glue, or you could pop it up. I think I popped mine up. I can't remember, because it's not going in an envelope, so it doesn't matter how high you pop it up. I got some old dimensionals here. I need to use up the edges. And then put that in the center, and then I put more dimensionals on there. And I just made sure I noticed which direction my bees were going in. And I put this down. Now you could decorate this a lot more if you wanted. You could add your bee to it. You know, whatever. I just was trying to keep it simple because it was really late when I was designing for this. And I wanted to go to bed. So I'm just going to put a few, what are these called? Adhesive back hearts and flowers. I'm just going to put a couple of those on here to dress it up a little bit. And that's your box. Now, what I used to put inside, I had a few of these left over from my daughter's wedding. They are, they're just a little mint. What do they call these? Let me see, I got a full. I think I got these from Amazon, but they have, oh, buttercream mints. They have these, I got these at Party City, but I got these, I think, on Amazon. I can't remember, but I think that's where I got them. But I know they sell them at Walmart, too. If you're doing it, depending on how many you're making, you wouldn't have to make such a large quantity. For the wedding, I had a lot of people, so I had to have those for that. But that's the video for that. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks, and I'll see you next class.